These are two Bavarian beers. These are two German Helles lagers, which means light. Although they don't taste light, they don't have less alcohol, and they don't have less calories. When a German says a light beer or a Helles beer, Helles, whatever, that means light in color. And in English, we would just say pale. So pale lagers. These are German pale lagers, both from Bavaria. The difference is Hofbräu comes from Munich or München. Münchner, it's Münchner. And Weihenstephaner comes from Freizing. And if you go to Oktoberfest in Munich, you're going to have 6 beers there that are 6 Munich breweries, but you're not going to have this one. You're going to have Hofbräu, Spaten, Franziskaner, Paulaner, Lowenbrau, and what's the other one? Hackerschor, however in hell you pronounce that, I don't know. So, both these beers are quite similar. Let's get a good look at them. They're pretty much identical in color, carbonation, head retention, and I poured these beers as gently as I could as to not stir them up because I want to taste them as if they were right out of the bottle. Because what happened, I noticed, is that if you pour these too fast and you stir up a bunch of foam, it's going to make the beer a little bit flatter, a little bit more watery compared to the other one. It's going to give the other beer an unfair advantage unless you pour them both the same. And I don't want that. I don't want watery, weak, flat beers. I want all the carbonation just out of the bottle. And so I can have a good, fair comparison. So as you can see, pretty similar. Virtually indistinguishable. And probably we'll see what they taste like. Now this is the thing when you do a side-by-side beer comparison. This is where you really tell the difference between the two. If you go out somewhere and you get yourself a Weihenstephaner, and you take a drink of it and say, yeah, it's pretty good, or you might say it's pretty bad. And you can do the same thing with Hofbräu. And the thing is, you can like them both, but you're really not going to think of them as any different unless you do side-by-side. Because when you do side-by-side, that's where you start picking up the differences. That's where certain characteristics about one over the other come out. I'm going to start with a little sip. Actually, that's kind of weak. It's good flavor, but kind of weak. Stronger, much more flavor. I'm leaning towards this one right off the bat. Now, whoever wins, if Weihenstephaner wins this match, it's over. It is a 32 beer champion. However, if Hofbräu wins, it's got to go up against Weihenstephaner again. And the reason is because Weihenstephaner has only lost one time, whereas Hofbräu has lost twice. And you've got to lose twice to be eliminated. Now, and that's the thing, and maybe that's a good thing why I do it this way, because for some reason, this is not tasting that strong. It's tasting kind of flat in comparison to this. Well, why could that be? But that's pretty fucking good, honestly. That is just outstanding and delicious. And this is flat and moderate. This is a seriously subdued taste. Well, I don't know what the hell, if it's just the bottle, if it got some shaken up between me opening it and pouring it in a glass and drinking it, I don't know. But it's not good. In fact, I'm tempted to just scratch this and do the whole thing over. Or this whole match over, not the whole 32 bracket. But yeah, I'll call it right away for this. Which is the Hofbräu, which is good. because that means that they're going to go up against each other again. I mean, seriously. This shouldn't even be on the same table as this right now. And I don't know if it's just this particular bottle or batch or whatever in the hell it is, but no thanks, Ralph. It's just not cutting the mustard. Normally this Weihenstephaner is a good freaking beer. I mean, it's wiped out everybody almost. Only getting beat by what, Kronenbourg. And now it's handed its second loss to Hofbräu. And this Hofbräu is a goddamn good one. I didn't expect this because Weihenstephaner is rated higher than Hofbräu. Weihenstephaner was my #1 rated beer, and Hofbräu was my #4 rated beer. On a scale of 1 to 4, or 0 to 4, Weihenstephaner was rated at 3.773. Hofbräu was rated at 3.288. Both Hell's Lagers, both 5.1 ABV. And, though that's an aggregate score from 4 different measures taken from Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, that I normalized each of these 4 scores from 0 to 1 and then added them together and then assigned these scores and then ranked them from the highest to the lowest and put them in a bracket, the seeded bracket, based on best scores to low scores. So, for instance, Weihenstephaner was the highest rated beer. Old Milwaukee was the lowest rated beer. So in the very first round, Weihenstephaner took on Old Milwaukee, and it beat it, of course. But that's it. So we got to do this again. One more matchup between these two. For the championship, that's going to be the ultimate championship of the 32 Beer Challenge. And hopefully, the next Weihenstephaner that I get is not going to be weak and watery like this one, because I don't even want to drink this. I don't, but I'm going to, because I spent good money on this. I don't want to throw it away. It's not bad, but it's dull. And when you talk about a beer being crisp, this one is crisp. This one is dull. So it's as if it's flat or something. And so, there we go. Hofbräu gets another chance. Both the beers now have lost twice. So this is going to be the ultimate winner in the next time these two beers meet up. All right.